tried it so you don't have to. Spirituality edition. Do. Timeline shifts. We're going to talk about timeline shifts today. If you don't know me yet, my name is Faith, aka Arlandria Speaks, and we're going to get straight into the video because that's what we do here. We go straight into it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of background, but then I'm going to kind of give you more details on what I mean by timeline shift. What is a timeline shift? Okay, so a timeline shift, disclaimer here. A timeline shift isn't an actual, something you can physically see. It's something you can feel. It is something that is displayed in your 3D reality, but first you can feel it. And I know that sounds so weird, but it's like you can feel it internally that things have shifted, or your mindset has shifted, or something about your life has shifted. What is a timeline shift? It's when you quantum jump through the timeline that you're currently in into a whole new timeline, or a whole new timeline for your desired outcome. How does this happen? Okay, in order for me to explain how it happens, I'm gonna give you a little bit of background on me. A year ago, I was working at Domino's. I was an assistant manager, and that was my main job. Is this what I wanted to do? Hell no. Was I doing it for the money? Hell yes. Did I know how I was going to get there to here, which is where I am now, a published author, a personal life coach, a tarot reader, an intuitive guide, working full-time doing what I'm doing, getting paid more than I ever did anywhere else. How did I get here? And part of it is a timeline shift. It's recognizing and realizing this is a huge part. It's a huge part of manifestation, that just because you are where you are, it doesn't mean you have to act as this is where you are. A lot of the time, people don't recognize that their feelings reflect their reality. Your feelings have a lot to do with what your reality looks like outwardly. Your thoughts, okay, sometimes they have an effect, but they don't have as large of an effect as your emotions do. So if you're looking around you and you're wondering, how the fuck did I get here? I don't know how to switch. I don't know how to see things differently. How can I move? And this is how you jump timelines. The first thing that you do is write down everything that you want to see differently. How do you want to show up differently in your world? How do you want things to change? Where do you want to live? What do you want to be doing for a living? How much money do you want to be making? How much, what does your partner look like? What is their potential job? Just write these things down, because in order for you to get there, you have to have an intention. And I feel like a lot of the time too, with timeline shifts, these dreams, wishes, and these things that you've been thinking about, a lot of the time, this is just your future self saying in your head, hey, this already exists. A lot of the ideas that you were given, or that you are given, or the career changes that you want to make are literally being whispered to you in order for you to see that this is the reality you're going to be living in very soon. So I know this is very woo-woo, but we're on spirituality edition, okay? So just stick with it, okay? So, writing your intention down. Write your intention down, what you want to see, what you want to do, who you want to be even. What do your habits look like? What do you eat every day? How many animals do you have? Do you have pets? What do you do throughout the day? Write these things down. Write these things down. And then step 2 is figuring out how to embody that. And I'm not saying do everything at once. You're going to say, okay, well, how can I get there, Faith? Start from nothing. It's okay to start from nothing. It's okay to start from nothing and nowhere and not know what the fuck you're doing or how to get there. But part of it is being curious and being genuinely excited to just change your life, and without seeing the progress, without seeing the pieces move, still being grateful for the position that you're in. And that is probably the hardest part, I would say. Is being grateful for where you are now in this timeline, and not thinking so much of how I'm going to jump, how am I going to jump, how am I going to jump, how am I going to get out of this situation. Because a huge part of it is embodying what you want to be, what you want to do. So if you're literally working at McDonald's right now and you're like, okay, well, I want to be I don't know, we'll just use content creator since I'm doing content. I want to be a content creator. If you're not making any content, if you're not writing ideas down, how are you going to get there? If you want to lose 150 pounds, how are you going to get there? How are you going to start? And it's not just about writing out the steps and doing the steps. Sometimes life gets in the way. Things happen. Things happen that are going to deter you from the path. So just start with one thing, one very small thing. And another way to jump timelines, quantum jump timelines, huge shifts, is by deciding within your mindset that this is not where you're going to live, seeing this world differently. Your perspective is a huge, huge part of shifting your timeline. A huge part of shifting your timeline. If you're looking at your life and like, oh my God, I'm so tired of being here. I'm not making enough money. Why is everything so expensive? Why do my relationships suck? Like, I wish people would actually listen to me. I wish this, I wish that, I wish this. You have to let go of a lot of limiting beliefs. And what I mean by limiting beliefs are things that have been holding you back. You ever had like a dream or a wish and you were like, oh, I really want to buy this car. Oh, well, you can't buy this car because you don't have enough credit, and you can't get the loan because your credit sucks, and you can't do this, and you don't have enough money, and you can't. Stop it. Stop telling yourself you can't. That's another thing. Stop telling yourself that you can't, because you can. You can always make a way, and realize and recognize how much power you have. That's another part. Recognizing that you are incredibly powerful on your own. You don't need anybody's support to do it. I did it on my own. I spent hours creating content that didn't hit. I'm still creating content that doesn't hit. You think I care? You think I care? No. I'm going to keep doing it because I know it's inevitable that I am successful, because I already am. I created something from nothing. And when you can say that, when you say I created this from that, I created nothing from and made it into something. I turned water into wine. I am an alchemist. And I'll literally, it's in the playlist, but go back to looking at the alchemy playlist, because that's important in order to shift your timelines too. But recognizing, I will link it below also. But recognizing that you are this beautiful, powerful being that can literally do anything. It doesn't matter where you come from. It matters where you're going. Stop looking back there, because that's not going to get you anywhere. The only place that's going to move you, that's going to jump you out of this timeline, instead of saying, I wish I had $1 million, into I'm actually a millionaire, is the mindset. It starts with the mindset. It starts with the belief that you can do it. Another huge thing is literally just taking the steps to get there by saying, okay, this is how I'm going to start. How are you going to start? Write down how you're going to start and start showing up in that way. Start showing up for it. Start saving your money. Start exercising. Start going to school if you need to go to school for your career. Do whatever you need to do in order to get there, even if it's just a 1%. Because the 1% makes a difference. The 1% is still progress. Even if you can't see it, it's still progress. You're still progressing. You're still getting there. You're still getting there. And the final thing that I kind of want to talk about here, I literally saw 9:12. Oh, it's my birthday. Anyways, sorry, on the timer. Okay, the final step is kind of into the range of, you don't have to do this, this is optional, but if you genuinely want to see a shift, do meditations. Do meditations. Do some Reiki meditations. I will link some down below if you're interested, and let me know in the comments if you want some. I'll give you some. Timeline shifts. Do timeline shifts. Do visualizations. Do activations that will literally put you in the place closing your eyes, thinking about the thing, because your brain doesn't know the difference of between imagination and real life. Your brain does not know the difference. So it will literally sink into your subconscious, and your subconscious will push your conscious to get there. To get there. So do this. And I'm not saying you got to do it every day. Like me, I did it every day. But you can do it once a week. And you can be present. Being present will also change that, because you have to detach. You have to detach from the fact that, like, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? No. Just learn to separate yourself from the outcome. And if you want, you can read some books about quantum physics. You can read The Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire by Deepak Chopra. I highly recommend that. I will link it in the description box below. That changed my life too. It changed my entire life. And recognizing that you ultimately have all the power in your hands, all the power and the ability to change your life, and recognize and realize that you don't have to be paralyzed by this fear. Your life's gonna change. Your life's gonna change. Okay, let me know if this helped. Thumbs up if it helped. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and I will link everything down below for you that you need. Okay, bye.